Hello and welcome back to the third game in a row. We are now 1-1, facing against Swole Patrol 256 once more. And they are bringing a Bandle Tree deck. Bandle Tree, pretty standard list. A Radiant Soul list. And this one is just like big invokes stuff. Triple Star Shaping, Bastion, Zenith Blades, and a Mono Shurima list. And I think we are favored, like all of our decks are favored against all of their decks. So I'm not actually sure which one to ban here. So like a Radiant Soul should just be too slow. Bandle Tree is like what we actually target with our lists. I think I'm just banning the Mono Shurima list, despite that's kind of stupid. I think it's a correct choice, like we can't deal with our decks at all. It's Targon, and we just target Bandle Tree. I think this is like the best option, not sure about this. Look at the other decks a little bit more. Fast Sprout, Grip Shot, Scrap Heap, Poke Stick, Buster Shot, Mini Morph. Divergent Paths, what's this finding? Oh, it's just like a landmark destruction. Open Telescope. Yeah, I think we just have to. We could also ban this one. Then go for Mono Shurima. You know what, let's do that. Let's fight Mono Shurima. And with this matchup, I think we are favored against both decks with both our decks. So I think the one that's independently stronger is the Draven Rumble deck. Just go in with this one. So this is not actually the matchup we target, but we should still have a good matchup because it's Mono Shurima and everybody has a Mono Shurima matchup. So let's see if this works out. Double Glory Seeker, Draven, out comes the Buried Sun Disk turn 1. And we have Rune Reaver, Draven. They have their own 1-drop. Get my hand tracking up again. Second please. Let's pass this one. 4. And 1 is up now. Pretty good start for them, of course. And here I'm just going to think about passing because they might play Rockhopper. I want to be this sticking around with my Draven. I think I'm just going to open pass here. They play the Rockhopper and then we can play our Rune Reaver. I just don't play anything, which is unfortunate. Endless Devout now. Could play Draven. Will play like any exhaust or stuff like that. 1 exhaust. Fine. I think I'm fine with the exhaust here if they have it. Shouldn't ever lose to damage. Should lose to being hard valued. It's fine. We can take some damage here. And we can start doing stuff with our Rune Reaver and our Glory Seeker. Let's start with the Rune Reaver here. He hit the Overwhelm Fragment quite good. And do they have a way to deal with this? Ancient Hourglass would deal with this. Shaped Stone doesn't deal with this, so let's see how it works out. Ancient Hourglass would be the unfortunate one. Everything else is good for us here. Let's see if they're just bluffing us, or if they actually don't have anything. Ancient Hourglass would wreck us here. Shaped Stone, or okay, just nothing. Okay, I will take this. This is why I said the Draven Glory is so good. We just take down this champion for free. And can have a Rite of the Arcane in the future. Didn't actually get any damage in yet, which is a little unfortunate, but we don't really have to erase it or something like that. Soothsayer now, interesting. Just going to run up my Kato here. Everybody! They can have like a Rite of the Arcane here. I think they would have played it immediately. They play 3 of like Rite of the Arcane. Rockhopper is fine, doesn't really matter to me. You can just block stuff. Hit Stone most likely. Interesting attack. So do we want to run into Shaped Stone here? I don't think we have to this turn. And just do big Draven hits next turn. Preparations. With the preparation, it becomes more likely that they find a Good card here. This is a good juicy card here. Go for the Kato attack first and see what they do. Reaction to that.
Got a lizard and a shovel.
Stone is fine. I'm just going to go for the might here, I think. That's just a lot of damage. 8 damage. Because I push in more with our other units here. Probably have like a right of negation now because they, or right of whatever, because they like target us. We could also like kill our own Draven to kill the Treasure Seeker. Then we can't do this anymore. I think we have to, like if they have it, they have it. We still have a Captain Farron afterwards. The end of the world. Still 10 damage. Now they're probably going to go for the right. Found it. Don't have it even. Interesting. We got a bunch of guys now. I think this is fine. And now Rune Reckoner. And Glory Seeker. We'll have our Fervor next turn. I don't think they can do anything relevant here. What's this? Wait, they did it. What? How do you have Right of Negation the whole time and not play it? Wow. Wow. That's so bad. That's so bad. How do you have it the whole time and not play it? You could have played it like 3 times already. Wow. So bad. I will not play this earlier. They're crazy. We don't die to this ever. But we're going to run out this guy. They will probably open attack us here next turn. Because they are like, oh my god, we have lethal. Should have ordered this differently in case of the, I was sure they don't have it because it's such a like, I would not kill my Draven like 5 turns ago. They can go for the lethal here, but we have the Fervor to kill this guy, and then we have the Draven with the Farron to win. Watch them GG mode me. Well, that's actually bad. They don't open attack, yeah, that sucks. Just threw all of our burn cards. One of our real cards. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, unlucky. Really unlucky here. We need to draw unit here, then we win. Maybe this is a misplay and like challenge this with the 5-2. What? Why will you not challenge here?
I'll have my revenge.
This plays around the Shaped Stone. We might still win with Farron into Decimate. Like that. Why will you not challenge? What a misplay. What is this guy doing? Seriously. What are you doing? I have so many questions. This such a weird turn of events.
History is whatever.
No more talk.
I have so many questions. Hey, I don't even jump block. Well, I have to go for the open deck now. I should have played around the third Fervor top deck. Have it. But what was his last 2 turns? This was so poorly played. Imagine just challenging here, then I have nothing. I'm just dying. Ah, unfortunately we can't punish this. It's bad play, but GG anyways. Unlucky, like this was very unlucky. Like I absolutely misplayed this multiple times, and this is such. I hate playing against worse players because worse players give you terrible reads. Because I was sure they don't have the deal for damage and play it differently, but they had it the whole game and just didn't know if they should play it or not. They totally faked me out here. That's fine, we should still beat up on the Bandle Tree deck here. Sorry, our fearsome list, that should basically absolutely destroy the Bandle Tree list. And yeah, this was the plan all along. If this doesn't work out, then I'm very sad. We are playing mono fearsomes, so we should be good against Bandle Tree. If Mistrave is just fine. I'm going to mulligan these two. Look for, no, it's fine. Yeah, keep our early game units. Double Rave Call is pretty good. They keep 3 cards here, which is scary. Oh my god. But they're gonna just high rollers again. 1 drop is good for us. Here, most damage would be a Horror, but I think Elise is better. I think we can play Mistrave into Ravecaller. First to get the one, literally the one card in the deck that can fearsome block. It's fine, still get 1 damage in. Player 2 off of cards that can block a fearsome on turn 2. Immediately hit it. I guess on turn 2, I mean, like, of course, Gnar can block fearsomes and stuff. The usual deck is just terrible against fearsomes. Telescope. Oh, not this one. I don't have enough mana. So I guess this one. Okay, I just have everything again. I have everything. I have a nice well, like, come on. Destroy it all, man. Okay, here is the later on Conan's Sun. I decided to do a post commentary from this point onward because I got pretty tilted in the middle of this because of all the random garbage that Bandle City generates as usual. So here you have a more calm and situated cast from the remainder of the game. Here we go. The Mark of the Storm comes out, which is usually not going to matter, but they are playing a triple Kennen list instead of the usual Poppy list, so they might actually have some way to deal with our guys. I'm laying up my Wavecaller here, which is actually, in my opinion, a pretty strong board. Out comes the Charger, 1 out of 6, from the Telescope to get a fearsome blocker that costs 1 mana. Of course, the other guy, the Elise, can also block fearsomes, but still 2 out of 6 here for the fearsome guy. And yeah, it's really hard to play around these cards. You could see before that they picked up the Celestial, but it could still just be any Celestial, like the one Challenger guy. Still have another Ravecaller here in the future, but here comes the second Kennen, and like 2 out of 3 Kennens already, with now the Mark destroying my Mistrave is just also very unfortunate. We can use our Glimpse Beyond here to at least draw some cards and see if we can get our way back into this. We have a lot of powerful turns coming up as well with the Dawning Shadows and stuff like that. However, yeah, the Targon's Peak or Startip Peak coming down, and this is probably one of the best landmarks, I would say. There's the Predict landmark, the Preservarium is probably better, but Startip Peak is probably the 3rd best one. And here's a Gnar, and Ravecaller comes down. Triple Ravecaller. Oh, no, it was double Ravecaller, I think. Double Ravecaller, and here we can actually block the Gnar. So our non-fearsome units don't actually matter. This is a very important thing. And they get the Poke Stick here, but this still, or Group Shot even, but this still doesn't really matter. And I thought they would just set up their Poke Stick here in their hand. The Gnar generates 1. So I thought they would just like want my unit at 2, but they also had the Group Shot, so I kind of misread the hand here because they didn't Group Shot me before attacking, which I would have done, or like save the Group Shot for a fearsome unit because my 4/3s don't matter at all. They can just jump block over and over again. And here comes a Arachnid Horror, and you just go right on fearsomes, and then a city will just eventually run out of fearsome blockers. That's just how this matchup will go. And they first generated randomly, like that's 2 out of 6 random cards, no 8 even, 2 out of 8 random cards it is, and generated the double stun, so holding us down here, which was frustrating again. However, we can still play out our Kalista and our Mistraves. We are now at 5 2s, and still managed to take down the Gnar or just deal 5 damage instead. I'm just like considering options here. Or like, I think I'm like ranting a little bit about the randomness that's going on here. It's just like really unfun. A card generates another card, generates another card. And here we go for the Mistwraith. And now by 5-2, they have no good fearsome blockers otherwise. Minion comes out, doesn't block fearsome. And I don't know why I don't play out another card here. Probably wanted to save up my Dawning Shadows for the future turns. And just to shut down, and actually comes the Gnar block. Not sure about this one either. I would have never blocked in 5 million years with Gnar here, because you just get to take up a Mistwraith for free otherwise. And here comes a Pokestick, maybe considering it. Like again, the 4-1 doesn't matter. All that matters are my fearsome units. We're never getting in with the 4-1 ever. Just literally does nothing. And you should definitely save your Pokestick here for potential fearsome units in the future. You draw double Dawning Shadows. This will be a recurring theme. Dawning Shadows is good as a 1-off finisher. Drawing both copies is almost always terrible. And they open attack, and I'm not really sure why they open attack here, and why they don't attack with the 2-1. 2-1 would literally be a free attack, 2 damage here. And yeah, not developing before attacking, not really sure what's going on. I'm just going to run up my fearsome units here. 3-2 into Kalista. And discards a Moonglow for the scrap heap. And here I think this card is bugged. So what's coming out here right now is going to look like a bug for me, because Vidas is actually, it just shuffles the stats. And maybe it's not a bug. So it just starts as a 0-4, but then it just shuffles, doesn't get +2/+0 because it didn't take any discards. So in the game I was going on like, this is a bug, how does this happen? This Master is fine, more removal, but we will have infinite fearsome units anyways. And we just find 2 Astral Foxes. Now that this shuffles the top 4 card of your deck, so these top 4 cards are shuffled here. And we still only hit 2 Astral Foxes. And next turn we draw another Stalking Shadows. And the funny part is now, watch what this Stalking Shadows gives me when I play it out. Here I'm like going on about how this may be bugged, but it's actually not bugged. It's just a 0-4 at the start. And then shuffle my stats. But it's kind of lucky to be shuffled into a 4-2 here, fearsome blocker. And look at this, we just get another Astral Fox, top 4 cards, got shuffled back in. Then the next top 4 cards also just have 1 Astral Fox, which is also a very, very low roll here for us. But it's fine, it can work out. But like in the game, this randomness, this RNG is just what totally annoys me. So if you watch my game with Smooth, there was like almost no RNG involved. And this is what I really like in these games, in these matchups. Question here is, what are we going to do now with our time, with our resources? I just decided to play an Astral Fox out. Bait out the Pokestick. The Pokestick doesn't matter here. Just want it to be gone, and that we can play out the Fearsome Dog. Fearsome Bird. This was absolutely their bait. I wanted them to play the Pokestick here, that I can get in damage with my onlooker. And they shouldn't have any more Fearsome blockers here. They are not fully developed on the Bandle Tree. Loping Telescope comes out, discovering more stuff. But at least Loping Telescope has already been played before. And I have to say, I never really realized how annoying this is to play against, just sitting here waiting and not being able to do anything. You see that it went from right to left, so they picked up another, they picked up the multi-region follower this time. And we have the fearsome bird. In comes another Buster Shot, which is fine, just a 1-for-1 trade. And again, this is what fearsomes do, they invalidate your opponent's blockers. And we have a bunch of Astral Foxes in hand now and can hopefully do stuff here. Interesting is the block on the 1 unit that doesn't stay fearsome. I would have definitely blocked one of the 3/2s that are already fearsome, instead of just killing the one that is not going to be fearsome on the next attack. Here comes the Bandle Tree and a card draw. So we have a Mistwraith, we have Dawning Shadows. My plan was just to play as many fearsome guys as possible. They generate a fearsome Demacia unit, which is kind of average. Like, I think more Demacia units can block fearsomes than can't. So now it's all PNC. PNC units are like usually smaller, I think. But it doesn't really matter, it's just fine. I go for a whatever it is called, Astral Fox thingy. And this is obviously the bait, because we just have a second one. And they have top decked a third cannon now. That's the third cannon in the deck, which rebuys the Open Telescope, and that's why Kennen is kind of a good card in the deck. but at the same time it kind of isn't. Like having a Poppy here would have just made everybody fearsome blockers and would have easily won the game. So I disagree with triple Kennen in this list. Another token telescope, taking a long time. Right to left. And here comes the Astral Fox. And we sacrifice our Ephemeral one to get them down to 7. And we have our big Dawning Shadows play next turn, where we can kill the one unit that can block fearsomes. Attack doesn't matter here. And then we can close out this game with all of our attackers, basically. So next turn comes around, we actually find an Elise, which was an amazing top deck here for us. And we can do Elise, Risen Mists, and Dawning Shadows in one turn. So we play out the Elise. This actually doesn't threaten lethal, so they shouldn't play out any unit here that can block fearsomes, because we're not actually threatening lethal. This playing out the 4-2 is a mistake. Or at least I don't know we threaten lethal with the Mist Wraith. And I think this is a mistake, because now we can just kill one, debuff the other one, and they are left without any fearsome units in the hand. And will most likely just lose. They have another one, but imagine, I guess it doesn't matter here at this point. But now we have enough fearsome units, and this is just such a favorite matchup. Like, you can't even imagine how favorite we are in this matchup. It's like 75 to 25, I'm pretty sure, because like Bandle Tree just loses to fearsomes, loses to spiders. And this is even more aggressive than spiders. Just all in fearsomes is even better. And yeah, we go 1-1 here. And in between the matches, I was thinking about the last matchup here. We can talk about it. It is our Draven Scion deck, or Draven Rumble deck versus Bandle Tree. And it kind of comes down to if we top deck any of our champions, if we can make a bigger deck. They only have Minimorph, and Minimorph is a little bit low on tempo here versus our Rumble, for example. You can't Minimorph Rumble on turn 4. However, we only find like no champions. I decided to keep my 1-drop and maybe look for more champions here. Not even mulliganing away the 2-drop, but however, we just find double discard synergy again. Maybe this is just bad, maybe I'm unlucky for this deck, but starting with now 3 survival skills on 2 games is just very feeling bad. We draw a Rune Reckoner, and this is kinda just the garbage stuff we don't want in our hand. These are all the filler cards, and we really wanted our Rumbles and stuff. And Rune Weaver comes out, so Wombat Twins is a blocker, and we decided to just trade it off, because we have could be have fearsome units later on, could have, just adding in some damage, seems pretty obvious. Do we really need to top deck something? Our survival skills, once again, a dead card. If I could go back, I would make this down to 1 maybe, or even 0. And here comes the Bandle City Mayor, generating 1 card, and I don't have any play because I drew all the spells, and we managed to draw a Glory Seeker here, but we have no way to bait it out. We could just play out the Glory Seeker and hope they don't have anything, but then they just play like a Loping Telescope and we kind of lose. So I decided to go for a little bit more of a risk and play out my attacking guy, Rune Reckoner, and they shouldn't have any cards that block this in Bandle City. However, they generate the 1 card that can actually block this, the Porous Lead, which is very terrible for us. And I kind of hallucinated here. I wanted to bait them into actually going to pause here for a moment on this frame, because this is one of the most interesting points in this game. We could just like Blade Fragment +2/+0 or 6/3, then it just trades for the other guy and doesn't really do that much. Then we can free attack afterwards. I wanted to bait out the block with the 5/5 with a 2/1 and was like, okay, I can't play on anything. If I have a group shot, I have a group shot. Nothing we can do. And just attack with the 2/1, the block with the 5/5, go for the Might, and then Midnight Raid. And in my head, if they would have the group shot, they would just block, make me spend my Might, and then go for the group shot, just blow me out completely. And otherwise, the other line, just I trade into Porous Lead and don't do anything. And let's see how it progresses here. Here I'm still thinking about it. What are we going to do? What is the best line? We can't really go for a Whirling Death. We have 1 mana off of that, by the way. And this is a really, really hard decision, in my opinion, because our hand just sucks so much. And yeah, kind of 4 mana 5/5, definitely not fair. And kind of what we were trying to counter, but we didn't actually play the right card because I didn't expect them to have a 4-mana 5/5 here, to be honest. I think for a long time here, maybe it was not actually necessary to pause after all, but I decided to go for the open attack, and here's what the interesting part happens. So the opponent told me afterwards they didn't block here, because if they blocked and I let the attack go through, I get to attack with my 4/3. I thought they didn't block, they have nothing, and play around my might. So here, when they went in and they blocked, I was very confused. I didn't understand at all how this made any sense, and especially if they had like the group shot here, which they do, it didn't make any sense to me why it wouldn't just block in the first place and just bait out my might. And yeah, but this is just like very high rolly, and we didn't draw any other champions. They generated the best Bandle City card they could generate in the 4-mana 5/5. And basically lost the game here on the spot. We are still going to play it out, but I was very depressed at this point. Just losing like this is so garbage. And let's hope that Bandle City gets reworked and some of these major random cards generators get reworked. And yeah, I'm just kind of accepting it at this point. You had the Phantom block or like the Phantom attack, and we have no other attack here. We top deck a Draven, so I was like, maybe we have a little bit of a chance if we had the other Draven down, but the main deck a Yordle Ranger as a 2-off, which is interesting as a decision, because it's like pretty terrible as against slower decks, and you can always generate more expensive cards with your Bandle City Mayors, for example, or Loping Telescopes. So I wouldn't have included the Yordle Ranger in my deck, but it can make sense. It will work out here. And we kind of have nothing. Like, we have a Draven, we have no really good play. And we will just lose here to the value or the infinite value stuff from the Bandle City. And I still think this matchup is like, statistically, Draven Rumble is like 70% versus Bandle Tree, like the actual versions. I think this is even better because this version doesn't have any stuns, doesn't have any Ravenous Flocks, and our version doesn't have any burn spells, but we have ways around that. I'm not sure, like in general, I think this matchup is super favored for us, but if you like, normal Bandle City doesn't main deck a 5-mana 5/7, like normal discard aggro actually can deal with stuff easier. We get our Draven level up here almost, yet you get like advancement for 1 level. And I think this is just how the draws lined up that we didn't get out of this one. There was like no real better line for us to take. And I understand my opponent's line now. Like in the actual recording, I just basically am very annoyed about this weird play they did. But in retrospect, it's not weird. That's why I decided to do like a re-recording. And here we just try to hold on, try to take down the units, but what can you do? And they then just wait for it. We only have 5 mana here, so we can't really do that much on our own. And they have a second, wait for it. That's the first Poké Stick here, no way to save our guy, because our survival skill will target our Tarfarian here. Instead, I just go for the damage push. We could also go for a Whirling Death here, but I think the Whirling Death will be more useful in the future. Not actually sure what I actually do. I think I just go for the discard on survival skills, make my 7-1 survive, and yeah, exactly, make my 7-1 survive, and this way we get to kill their Poké Sled for free. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter, because I still have Bandle City Mayor, who's still a fair and balanced card, and they get infinite discounts and everything, plus we are just running out of cards here, because we draw, like, I think we play 2 or 3 Reborn Grenadiers, we just kind of drew them all, and now the second Bandle City Mayor just seals the deal, basically. And this is just a top deck war a little bit, if you could like hold on for 2 turns, but like they just have all the board, all the units here. It's just what Bandle City does. And yeah, Mark of the Storm doesn't really matter here. Let's just watch how this game ends. We have no blocker, and they just attack with almost everything. We top deck a Pharaon, which is not useful yet. And I just have an Arena Maker caster, which is just infinite amounts of damage, also generated by Bandle City Mayor. This is why I don't really like putting expensive cards into Bandle Tree decks, because you can just like create expensive cards if you want, if you have to. And we kind of have nothing here. We could survive for one turn. I don't even think we can survive for one turn. So I kind of just ramble on a little bit and then concede, which means I went 1-2 and unfortunately didn't qualify afterwards for the finals. You will still see the finals. I casted them instead. But yeah, this is me going 1-2. And yeah, thanks for watching this match. See you in the next one.